Hey guys, Scrublord here, and welcome to another episode of Scrub Souls. In this series, we are taking on Dark Souls 3 with an SL1 character, and in this episode, we will be taking on the Farron Swamp and the Abyss Watchers with an SL1. So, there are a lot of drops in this area, a lot of Titanite shards to pick up, but the one thing is you're going to get the Dream Chaser's ashes at this point, so you're going to be able to purchase as many Titanite shards as you want. So I don't consider this area to be terribly important as far as the drops. And there's a lot of dangerous enemies and everything. Mostly I just want to go around, hit the 3 kilns, and get the mini boss, the Stray Demon, and then the boss of the area, the Abyss Watchers, and just go ahead and move on. Make sure, however, before you leave this area that you get the Undead Bone Shard in the little area building with the slugs, and then a Dark Wraith is guarding a building that has the Sage's Coal, so you'll definitely want both those items. But as you can see, the first of the kilns is right here, and we'll go ahead and light this one. All 3 of the kilns are accessible from the first kiln, essentially. If you lose direction, when you get to higher ground, look up in the air and see if you can see, one of the flaming chimneys, because that'll point you in the right direction. Probably the ugliest enemy in this area are going to be the Grooves that do not have a weapon, the ones that jump on your head and twist your head around and blood's flying all over the place. If you have a fire weapon, one of the reasons I like making a fire broadsword early in the game, these guys will go down pretty easy. As you can see, even at SL1, he didn't really pose any problem for me at all, as long as I was able to sneak up on him. So this is going to lead us up to the second of the kilns, and we're going to just go ahead and double back in order to get back to the area to get to the third kiln. And as you can see, there's our second kiln. Before you double back to the first bonfire, though, from the second kiln, go ahead and light the Keep Ruins bonfire here. But I wouldn't rest at it unless you really need the healing. As you can see, I've still got 9 Estus, so I'm obviously not going to rest at it. I'm just going to hit that one up. It'll give me easy access to the boss later on. So starting back at the first bonfire, you'll find a little break in the wall, and you're just going to kind of head straight across. You're going to have to deal with one of the great big cleric beast looking things. I wouldn't fight him at SL1. It's not a very winning proposition. You may very well be able to beat him, but it's going to be a lot of wasted time. But you see these stairs right across from here, and we've got someone right behind us. So just get up here and get this lit, and if he kills you, you're not out much. From the third kiln, you'll find a pathway that's filled with barricades that you can crash through that's gonna take you down to a swamp area where you'll find the ladder to go to the Wolf of Farron, as well as the building with all the slugs in it that has the Undead Bone Shard. So go ahead and get your Undead Bone Shard, and then go ahead and get the bonfire for the Great Wolf of Farron. Now, the problem here, I can't rest here because I got invaded by Heisel because I'm embered. What I end up doing is just running up to the boss and getting killed. I haven't fought it in a long time. It actually killed me quite a few times, and that got rid of both my ember and Heisel, so I guess that's a win-win. Make sure you get this guy. And make sure you double back and go get your Dream Chaser ashes, because you really want those. Up the elevator and then up the stairs, and to your right you'll find a kind of a hidden path. I'm sure it's no big secret, but this is really important to go ahead and do because it's got 2 large shards, which are very hard to come by at this point in the game, and it's also got probably the most useful shield for an SL1, though you can't use it until you get the Knight's ring. That would be the Dragon Crest shield. So go ahead and clear out this area. So up until I got to this guy, my run had been doing pretty well as far as bosses go. I mean, it's not like I wasn't ever dying. I died twice to Vort, once to Curse Rotted Gravewood, once to the Crystal Sage. I believe only once the Crystal Sage. I think I said so in the video. And I only died twice to the Abyss Watchers, which will be at the end of this video. But this guy killed me probably over 10 times. I wouldn't be surprised if it was closer to 15. Most of it didn't last very long. He just grabbed me and threw me off the edge. One of the problems is I'm trying to attack him in a certain way, just to get a creative kill. You'll see what I mean in a moment. That was close. If you do enough damage to his legs, you can break them off. And then he just crawls around on the ground. It's actually kind of funny to watch, but at this point I was frustrated, so I just took him down while he was crawling around. But he'll stay legless, and he'll just keep crawling around like that. Anyways, I did that one just for you, Crudless. SL1, baby. I headed back to the first bonfire of the area, Farron Keep, and if you head to the left and just keep heading to the left through a kind of foresty swamp area, eventually you'll find this building guarded by a dark wraith. In that is the Sage's Coal that you'll want to pick up. Killing the dark wraith is optional, of course, but you do want the coal. After you give the Dream Chaser's ashes to the Handmaiden, Cirrus will have a new dialogue for you where she becomes your friend and is available for summons. Of course, I don't summon her, but that does move her questline forward so that you can get the Dragon Slayer axe when you get to Irithyll. You do have to leave once and come back in between giving the Handmaiden the ashes before Cirrus will appear and have a different dialogue. Now, there are a lot of items in this area, including a couple of the mage scrolls or tomes that I didn't pick up because I don't need. But this entire area is filled with all kinds of stuff that you're certainly welcome to wander around and look for. But I think I pretty much covered what I consider to be critical. At this point, I'm just going to make a mad dash to the next bonfire, try my hardest not to aggro the Dark Wraiths, and go into the boss. I did die a couple times to these guys, which I actually considered pretty fortunate. After dying like 10 times to that damn stray demon, I was a little concerned that this fight was going to take me a while, but they just become very predictable. After you've fought them a few times, you kind of know what they're all about, and it just doesn't come as any big surprise. Try to keep them in your field of vision, both of them in your field of vision. I mean, that's good advice at any level, but at SL1 it's particularly important because like that attack there will one-shot you if they take you out on it. And I kind of throw caution to the wind there. And I get worried that the guy behind me, the red-eye guy is going to show up behind me and all of a sudden he's going to kill me. So, it's really being aware of your surroundings for this fight at SL1. It's not terribly difficult. They don't do a ton of damage. You can usually take a hit or two and still survive. That was really scrubby. I walked right into them fighting each other thinking I could get a backstab. And again. But as you can see, this is going pretty fast. I'm taking them down. Pretty good clip. I've got to watch other people do that because they always get a backstab on that move, and I don't know if I'm dodging the wrong way or I'm not supposed to dodge at all or what the gig is, but they always get a backstab on that move. This is actually the first time I get to the second phase and I managed to take him out. That's the one you want to roll under and get a backstab on the other side, but it's been a while since I fought this guy. That one right there, that's where everybody gets the backstab, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong there. I gotta watch their video. I should have done it beforehand so I can show you a little more pro fight, but I guess that's the whole point of the Scrub Souls run, though, to show you that you don't have to be awesome to pull this off. Just keep your distance and wait for your shot. Don't get too aggressive. He'll combo you to death. And again, no backstab. But here's another great example, as I was talking about earlier in an earlier video, people don't want to try an SL1 because they're just convinced that the boss will just wreck them, that there's no way they could beat a difficult boss like this. And as you can see, I mean, he's hitting me multiple times sometimes, and I'm surviving it. You just gotta play a little smarter. And have more patience. You know, you gotta deal with the fact that some of the bosses are gonna kill you multiple times and you can't get too frustrated. Here's my backstab. Well, that should be it for him. Well, I was originally planning on going into the catacombs and then Smoldering Lake to get a +7 weapon and take on the Dancer right away and then go back to the Cathedral of the Deep. But I think in the interest of some continuity and direction, I'll go ahead and do the Cathedral of the Deep now so that I don't accidentally mess up either Sigwart or Cirrus's quest line. So anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe and check back to see how I'm doing on my SL1.